You're probably hearing all the time, you better study. If you don't study, you're going to fail. This isn't like middle school. College, much harder. You better study. And you might be sitting there going, oh my God, I don't know how to study. How do I study? Well, I'm here to help. My name's Philip Brown. I'm the bearded math man. And I didn't learn how to study in high school. I learned the hard way when I went to college. I'm going to share with you the ways that I learned how to study, and I've been having my students do them in high school for, well, over 10 years now. So I'm going to show you just a few things you can follow. It's going to work out great. So stay tuned. The first thing you got to do, you got to set aside some time. Look, cramming has its place. And if you're on top of something, or if it's a memorization sort of test, then cramming can really be effective. But if it's something that you're not quite on top of, or it's something you need to know how to do, cramming sometimes does more harm than good. So you need to set aside some time. And you maybe say a week ahead of time, say every single night, you're going to spend 20 to 45 minutes turning off your phone, no television, put away all your distractions, and you are focused on that test for, whatever the time is that you've set aside. Now, the reason the time is really important is because when you're learning, you're actually developing your brain, and that takes time. You can't hurry it. You can't compress that time. Much like if you're a weightlifter and you wanted to bench press 250 pounds, you got to have time for your body to build up to that. So you got to give your brain some time. Take it easy on the poor thing. You're getting a lot of it, because whatever it is you're studying is probably pretty tough. The next thing you got to do is you need to make yourself a study guide. Now, we've all been in a situation where you're in a class, you have a test coming up. Teacher gives you a study guide, you do it, turn it in, show up for test day, totally different. Oh, come on, that's not fair. Thing is, that study guide, not really a study guide, because it doesn't make you do the thing that's most important for studying, and that is thinking about how well you know the material that you're going to be tested on. When you do a study guide a teacher gives you, you're just doing a worksheet. Turn it in, done. It's not studying. To make a study guide, what you need to do is you need to make a list of all the things that you've learned in that unit, all the things that you think might be on the test. Then you get yourself a handy-dandy highlighter, go through the list, highlight the things that are difficult. Now, the things that are not highlighted, you don't ignore them. Those things, you just briefly review. Try a couple little things. It might really help you on test day, because you might have some little bit of misunderstanding. Takes a minute to fix, because you're pretty solid with that topic. Shows up on the test. Boom. You got some points right there. Anyway, the topics you're not very good at, the highlighted ones, you have to do some research. You can use YouTube. I bet you can find this bearded math dude on there. He's going to have some math videos for sure. You can also use the good old GOOGLE, your textbook, your notes, your teacher. Word of advice about asking your teacher for help. That's maybe your best resource, but you have to be clever about how you approach it. Don't go ask the teacher right before the test to review everything that's been learned. Instead, as the days leading up to on the days leading up to the test, when you're studying, take notes on a Post-it note, little questions. Stick them in your notes where they, belong, and show up and ask your teacher, hey, what about this? Teacher's going to be like, dang, this kid's got it going on. Anyway, the third thing you need to do after you get your whole study guide done is you need to come up with some practice problems. Old quizzes and tests are pretty phenomenal for that. Also, when you were looking on the internet, good chance you found yourself some practice problems. But be careful here. Don't trick yourself. For example, if your test is closed notes, practice with closed notes. Don't leave stuff. Don't say, hey, I don't know how to do that kind of problem right there, and leave it to test today. So, for example, say you got a quiz and it's graded, you got 4 out of 10 correct. You missed 6 of them. You need to learn how to do those 6. you cannot leave those things to be figured out on test day. You might be able to figure them out, but you're going to be panicked. You're going to be struggling for time. It's just not good. The whole purpose of studying is to make sure you shore up all those things that have been lacking. So come up with some test materials, some practice materials using your old quizzes and homework problems and your notes in the book and the stuff you might have found when you were studying, researching. Try those problems. See how it goes. Reflect upon how well you have progressed. And if you need to do more studying and more practice, hey, you got time because you are structured. Anyway, when all that's done, you've set aside your time, you made your study guide, you researched the things you're not very good at, you talked to your teacher, you practiced problems that you weren't good at from before, all that's done, you show up on test day, you're confident. I mean, you should be. And as far as whatever grade you get, can't worry about that. You have taken care of your job and you're going to do fantastic. I mean, you can't control test day if you're having a good day or a bad day, if you're sick or feeling great, or maybe, maybe you got in a fight with your mom before you left for school. Happens sometimes. Anyway, all of that stuff you cannot control, but you did take care of your business, so you're going to be fine. The nice thing also is, the more you study, the better at it you get. And the more efficient and the more studying you will actually get done in the same amount of time. So, anyway, set aside some time. Make a study guide. Research the things you're not very good at. Come up with some practice problems and evaluate how you're doing until you feel confident that you got it. Do all those things. That's how you study. If you found this video to be helpful, useful, you could really help me out. You could help me make more videos like this. All you got to do is click like, subscribe to my channel. You could also visit my website, beardedmathman.com. Anyway, thanks for watching.